Last week I told you that the Dolphins.
You are looking live.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Last week at DJ, I told you that the Dolphins starting at 8:30 was going to be good because in the event that they lost to the Jaguars, like I'd have throughout the day to get over it. Quick update: worst thing ever. I sulked all day. It was arguably a top 4 worst day of my entire life.
Sucks to suck, man. I try to set you up, and I try to bring your expectations down, and you do this to your dumbass self every single year. And there's only one person to blame here, and that's you.
It is, and I found one way to cope with the loss, and it's continuing to be the same thing I've done all these years. Looks like you got a spotted cow. I've got a Busch Light. So DJ, let's get loaded because this is the Loaded Box Podcast,
where we never finish first because we finished last.
Welcome back to the Loaded Box Podcast. I'm Ben Morgan. That's DJ Primo. DJ, it's week 7 of the NFL season. And I don't know if you had planned to strategically throw this in there at some point during the podcast, but earlier in the week, you had mentioned that you were going to ask me a question that I don't know if you said it was going to upset me. How did you word that?
I said it's going to break your brain.
It's going to break my brain. Okay, well.
I've been thinking about it for days and I still haven't figured it out. And maybe it's going to be easy for you, but I have no fucking clue.
I don't even know what this is pertaining to. I don't know if it's football related, beer related.
Football. It's actually related to gambling, which is very rare.
All right. Well, let me get one more drink and then I'll be ready as hell for this.
So here's my question. Let's say me and you we're future bettors. We like to bet futures when we come to the NFL season. So let's say Dolphins over under is 7.5 wins. Okay.
Yep.
They give you 7.5. What if they go 7, 9, and 1?
So actually, I think when I did this, I read that ties counted on mine as half. So you would get the rare 7.5 push.
I was trying to think of a way it wouldn't be a 7.5 push because I was getting really confused.
Yeah. And I don't quote me on that because I can't quite remember, but I swear that was a thing that I read. Like it was like, hey, by the way, with the extra game, not that it would even matter. That would always be a thing. But I read that this year. And that could be different, not like Vegas versus other sites and who knows. But mine says it's a tie.
That ties into why I originally thought about this is because we have that Steelers versus Dolphins bet. What if one of them ties? Do you owe me half of that game or do we just split even because it's a win and a loss, so it just counts as nothing?
So now you officially did break my brain. I need a little bit more beer. I need to figure that one out.
I thought about that one first. I still think about it. Like, hey, would he owe me half because it's half a win, but it's also half a loss? So does it just $5 split even? It's not even a game, but
it's nothing.
In the NFL, it is a game.
Right?
It counts as something towards the percentages. So I'm like, fuck.
we got to do a case race and figure that one out.
Yeah,
we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I'm just preparing for a Dolphins tie this year, and I'm wondering.
Well, I would kill for a tie. Let's get a couple of ties around here.
There's no reason that they won't have a tie this year. If anybody's going to tie, it's going to be the Dolphins.
I'm all for it. I'm tired of losses. DJ, as I was saying, every week we go through the NFL schedule. We find our best against the spread bets. We pick them, and now we're in week 7. And last week, DJ, I went 2-1. I won a half of a unit. You went 3-4, but despite the losing record week, you won your big ones. You were 0.2 for the unit or 0.2 units for the week. So for the year, I'm one game above 500. I'm plus 0.9 units. DJ, this is going to go in well with what you just said because you're 19, 17, and 1. So I want to say you're 2 games above 500, but you've confused me so damn much with these ties. I don't know what to tell you, but you are an impressive plus 3.7 units for the year.
Let's just say my most confident bets are nailing it. So if you literally were just following my most like 0.5 and higher bets,
0.5 and higher, yeah,
you'd be rich. But you can't do that because you don't know if it's not going to hit. So you have to bet them all.
And it usually goes the opposite way. Like if you mess around with your like totals, you're going to win the small ones.
Yeah, and I have not. I've missed the small ones and hit the big ones. It's been incredible.
Well, let's see if you can ride the wave here. This is your This is your shoe in for the week. You get to play your second favorite team just because of their name, Washington FC.
Yeah, I'm taking. I like that. I was hoping that you'd put this one first just to get it out of the way. Packers -9. I've owned you all my fucking life. I still own you. I own you. No, I own you all my fucking life. I own you. I still own you. Packers -9 versus Washington Football Club. That's just a lock for me every week. They covered last week. Again, they are one of the top teams against the spread this year. So if you just continually bet it, you're going to make money on them. Packers -9. No other explanation needed.
Do you think Washington told its fans not to give Rodgers the double bird?
You know what's funny is, yeah, well, he doesn't own them, so he probably would just not react or maybe just flick them back off. But what's funny is, oh fuck, what was I going to say? Oh, Quinn did the belt to him earlier, and I thought for sure he saw it because the belt he did was just everything in that touchdown he ran in from the belt to the own you part was just. I mean, I don't even know how, are there Bears fans even around anymore, or did they all just die after that?
they all just evaporated at that point.
What's that guy? What's the name of that guy that they got the mass suicide and they drank all the Kool-Aid?
Wow, you're really testing me now. You know me and current events.
No, that's not Dr. Kevorkian, is it?
I think it was Dr. McGillicuddy.
No, but that cult got everybody together. They drank the same juice. They all like killed themselves like a suicide pact. That's what the Bears fans are going to do after that Aaron Rodgers game, like a big time. Like it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know where I was going, but that's Fair enough. I got it. Okay.
0.2 units for you though.
0.2 unis.
I don't have much to add on this one. I wouldn't take Washington. You know me, early in the season, I was betting Washington left and right. It's burned me one too many times. And now I'm just going to completely avoid it. Like, I've still got a total on Washington's over-under wins for the season. So I'm sneakily like cheering for them every single week, and it's just not working out for me. So I'm with you, man. They're not going to beat the Packers this week, but 9's a lot. But
especially after the whole fucking chaos going down right now with the Sean Taylor and Patrick Mahomes dancing on Sean Taylor's face, and not Patrick Mahomes, but Jackson Mahomes.
Jackson Mahomes.
You know
DJ, this next one we've both got a play on, and for one of the first times like all season, we're on opposite ends of a game. So one of us is going to win here. You appear to be more confident than me. You're going 0.5 units. I'm going 0.2 units. The game is the Buccaneers and the Bears. The spread is the Bucs by 12.5. I'm on the Bucs. You're taking the dog. I'll let you lead off here. What's your theory here? Because the Buccaneers look damn near unstoppable, and the Bears are starting a rookie quarterback against that defensive front.
I think the Bears look stoppable. I mean, the Buccaneers look stoppable against a solid defense. They struggled really hard against the Patriots, whose defense has been really good. Offense not very good. The Bears have a good defense. They did look good against the Packers. Obviously, the Packers just continue not to have an offensive line. Now their center went down. Again,
more injuries.
Aaron Rodgers. But what's crazy is they're 5-1, and Bakhtiari is starting to practice this week. Jenkins just got back. Josh Myers will be back because I don't think it was that terrible. So they're going to have the full offensive line pretty soon, and they're 5-1 right now. And hopefully Jair comes back.
But what about the Bears?
I don't know. I just got excited. I got excited. I got excited about the Packers being 5-1.
You had me in your trap there for a while. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought we moved on.
Anyways, the Bears have a good defense. They do. And the Buccaneers have a good defense. And I just think this is going to be such a low-scoring game. It's going to be hard for the Buccaneers to win by 12.5. Like, I just think that margin is too close. Like, if I just glance at the over-under, I bet it's not any higher than 43-ish, 44. Let's go look.
Oh, I would think it's higher than that.
47. Holy crap, it's higher than that. I think it's going to go under, but I think it's going to be a slow-moving game. Bears have a great defense. I don't think Brady's been tested, and in the games he has been tested, they haven't scored a lot, and they've struggled. And Justin Fields kind of looked, especially on that first drive, obviously it got a little worse after that. That fluke I don't know if the guy was offsides. No comment on that one. I'm just going to take the interception on that. Right. But he's starting to look a little more comfortable. I think he's looking a little bit more confident. It's about his third game at this point or something like that. So he's going up against a very weak secondary. So I think a lot of the game is their run plays are going to be extended run plays where they just throw the ball quick out to guys, and then they'll be able to throw it downfield because it's a bad secondary to keep, because those linebackers will be on the heels and not be able to pressure as much. So I just think it's going to be low scoring and a lot closer than you think. And Buccaneer fans will be sweating by the end of this.
That's what they would have to do, is kind of what you described there, because yeah, their secondary is weak, but man, look at, how that front four, that front seven, when they
Yeah.
did blitz,
I don't
you
think
know
they
how
run I don't think they run the ball this game. the
they might
Bears.
not.
Yeah.
But man, like, look at how uncomfortable they made Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and it's essentially the same defensive line at this point in time. Like, that is team strategies when you go up against the Buccaneers right now, is you don't run the ball. You just pass and you see how it goes. But when you're asking a rookie quarterback and what it's start 4 or whatever it is for him, that's tricky. I don't even care how bad their secondary is. I think he's personally going to struggle. And this goes against what I do. Usually I see a spread, anything like 8, 9 and above. I just completely avoid the game. I like anything below that. I like closer spreads historically. But I'm going to steal your line. What's your line? If I'm not uncomfortable,
I'm not comfortable unless I'm uncomfortable.
See, you say it the best. That's why I wanted to turn it over to you there. That's the situation here. I'm going to go out of my comfort zone here, and I'm going to swallow those points. I don't think.
I bet you are.
Yeah, all night, baby. I don't see this staying within 2 touchdowns. I'm going 0.2 units on all my games, but I'm more confident, honestly, in this one than what I'm showing.
Yeah, well, I'm very confident.
Dude, how great is Leonard Fournette right now? Or is he just in the all-time great situation?
I don't know. I don't even think he's that good. He's still slow. He's just in a good situation. I think Ronald Jones is a better running back, and I hope he gets traded somewhere.
I think he's going to, man. But at this point in time, like, Fournette has just been killing it. But it's that situation, though. Like, you basically you dare the Buccaneers.
He won't be able to run this weekend either. He won't be able to run against the Bears.
He might not have to. Because if you're playing defense against the Bucs, you want them to run the ball. Like, you're inviting them to get 4 or 5 yards a carry. That's cool. That's a win.
They're not going to win like that, though. Like, Akeem Hicks is a freak. They're good they can win up front without bringing extra guys to stop the run. Leonard Fournette really just isn't that good of a running back. Really, he just isn't. And I think they're a team that doesn't need to worry about bringing extra guys up on there. They can literally just play the pass the entire game.
They're going to have to. Well, I guess we're just going to have to, what's the word I use? Defer on that one?
Agree to disagree. Let's go with.
Your next one, DJ, you got an over-under, it looks like, in the Chiefs-Titan game.
I'm sick of this fucking chat not showing up. Have you talked to these fucking assholes?
I'm going to have to pretty soon. So what DJ is referring there to is what we stream this on. It's not showing any of the comments that come through. So once again, if you are trying to comment, we apologize. We can't see anything. Nothing's coming through.
Nothing.
We're not ignoring you. We apologize. It is what it is.
I'm assuming we have at least 150 people watching right now, but it shows 0.
150,000. We're going to start knocking on doors. I said it last week. That was a bluff. This week, I'm not fucking around.
I've been knocked out. I'm kicking down doors. What do I got? Chiefs Titans over 57.
You got it.
This is a college football game, and if it's a college spread, it would probably be more like 72. So I'm thinking we got college football teams, no defenses. The Titans have A.J. Brown healthy. Julio, he went out of the game with an hamstring again, but I still think he'll play. A.J. Brown looks like he finally got back, and even after throwing up all night or whatever, comfortable in the second half of that game. Derrick Henry is unstoppable against no matter who he plays with. Like we said, the Chiefs are one of the worst defenses ever. The Titans are a very bad defense. I can't imagine this not just being back and forth. I think it could get to 50 by the end of the first half. So I have to take the over in this game because I just don't think it's enough. I think it should be a college type over. So if I see, Ohio State playing Michigan and the over-under is 57, I'm going way over because it's college, This is a college football game. This is a Big 12 2 years ago college football game.
With all the exciting and explosive teams that are on bye this week, this is the game that fantasy owners love. Like, you're plugging in all of your Chiefs, you're plugging in all of your Titans. It's going to be huge.
FanDuel, you should have both sides of that.
Dude, yeah. Either do the bargain stack with Tannehill,
A.J. Brown's probably going to be cheap.
Well, it won't be as cheap probably as he was. They'll probably recognize that a little bit, but you're going to get a discount on him because of what it's been. I'm going to go all in and go Mahomes, Hill, and Kelsey, and then just find bargains around them.
AJ in there too. Fuck it.
Oh, I don't mind that. So we're recording this on Tuesday. We're a little day earlier than what we typically do this on. So it's a little bit tricky because we're getting the lines like so early on this one. So last night, the Monday
I
night
bet the
game was
over.
already.
No, last night.
Oh, last night. But what an interesting game because Buffalo's offense still looked fine, but it just didn't have that like explosive notch to it. I don't think that's because the Titans defense like played out of its mind by any means though. Like I think that's more of like a fluke. And look at what the Chiefs responded with last week against Washington. Well, they put up 30 some points, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean it's Washington.
Yeah, I know, but Washington was supposed to have a better defense.
Yeah,
Washington's defense, I still think is better than Tennessee's. No, but no, I'm agreeing with you on this one. I would play the over on this one. You're going 0.3 units.
Yeah, I love unis. I love it. I bet the game last night because I'm like, I know that Tennessee can fucking score. I had a feeling they were going to get going, and Tannehill looked like Tyler after the first quarter. First quarter is a struggle. He started to look like Tannehill. He started to get more comfortable. That play action was working. Yeah. He was doing the play action and getting the ball out immediately. When he hangs on to it for about a couple of seconds, it's a problem.
Bad news.
If he can get the ball out quick, both in shotgun and on the play action, because he likes to get that first look, one or two, he can get to the second. But he needs to get it out on a rhythm because that's when he's most accurate because he's not thinking about it. And he looked really fucking good in that second half last night. And obviously, Tractor Cito was a monster.
If
that guy beat me in my fantasy league.
if Josh Allen doesn't slip on 4th and 1, are they winning that game?
How much time was left? Yeah, it was over.
Yeah, man. I think they were winning that game. It was funny though because like he didn't do the traditional like I'm gonna charge up the middle. Like he took like a step left, and he took a step left on purpose and then tried going up. Yeah. And the defensive tackle played it perfect. He beat his guy, so it was going to be tricky. But Josh Allen he's also a large human being, and the fact that he slipped, it was just over. Like what a terrible. I love that way though. Like I'm kind of going off topic on this one, but. The Bills put that game in their hands and said, hey, we could kick a 20-yard field goal and go into overtime. Or, hey, we have one of the best running quarterbacks in the freaking league. Let's get this damn yard. We'll score from there. I would rather lose that way than go into overtime and lose some other shitty way.
The game was Titans in the over, and I hit the money line as well. So fuck off.
You hit the money line on Tennessee?
Yeah, and I parlayed the over in the Titans.
Were you playing with house money? Or were you just like the ultimate chase?
No, I was down a little bit, so I had to get some money back.
Beautiful.
I actually had an pretty even weekend. I was probably down like $20. I don't know.
Nice.
I'll tell them.
My next one here is I would say I'm going to play this one. I've got 0.2 units on it, but I will admit it's my least favorite one of the week. I'm taking the Raiders -3 versus the Eagles, and I'll start right away with why I don't like the play as much.
Can I just remind you we are doing a gambling podcast?
But I'm trying to give real sound advice that I'm going to gamble on it
to the people, and we are a gambling podcast. You think they just want to hear 3 bets?
I'm going to give you the best ones.
Jesus,
I'm not giving you filler. I'm only going to give you the ones I like enough to actually bet.
We do a gambling podcast? This ain't an ESPN radio show.
I never said it had to be.
A gambling podcast. You give 3 picks.
But it's our podcast. So rather than just filling up time, I'm only going to focus on the ones that I really like.
You're only going to bet 3 games all weekend?
Yeah.
How is this a gambling podcast and you're only going to bet 3 fucking games?
Because when you bet $7 million on each game, it's high stakes, baby.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But it's funny because I only have 3 and I'm already telling you I don't like this one that much.
Yeah, which is great. You couldn't find another one out of the 10 to 12 games there are.
Like I said, it's also Tuesday. It's a little tricky this week. What I was saying though, the reason I'm hesitant on this one is like the Gruden factor. So they didn't have Gruden last week and they just pretty much just stomped the Broncos.
I almost bet this.
Is that because they're that much better than the Broncos and because the 2 weeks before that were a fluke, or were they doing that because hey, we need to make a stand right now. Like everyone thinks we're down. We just lost our coach. We're going to rally. And now they're down. This is like a letdown game. That's what scares me.
Not a good coach. Also, I just don't think Gruden's a very good coach. I think it was a good thing for him not to be there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's my hesitance. Were they just rallying?
No, I think they're better without him.
Well, then you just eased my worries. I should
Yeah,
make
no,
this
I like
full
the
unit.
Raiders. I'll probably end up betting them.
And I think we're both probably biased against the other side because neither of us
Ugh.
are Jalen Hurts fans. And
Yeah, he's
I
a
was,
fine fantasy quarterback, but he
yeah,
sucks at real
dude,
quarterback.
I'm all in on that take. Like they were showing his numbers on, and I know it's more than just numbers, but like an NFL Network, he's gradually getting a little bit worse. Like
If
his
you're a
fantasy numbers
redraft
are fine.
person, if he's a redraft guy, he's fine. If you have him in a dynasty, you don't feel very good because he's not going to be the quarterback of that team for very long.
I would try to sell him
Yeah,
ASAP.
100%.
I've given my Hurts take too many times. I don't need to do that again. But
I hate it.
it's in Vegas. It's only 3. I think the Raiders are a better team than the Eagles. You're giving me the home team, and it's only 3. It smells
East to
fishy.
West.
That too. I'm a little bit nervous just because of what I said earlier. But you're telling me to just relax. Are you taking the Raiders on like a Sunday morning like little tickle play?
They'll probably be in my money line parlay.
Oh, a little tease action there. Not
Yeah, buddy.
a teaser like for the segment coming up, I should say.
Yeah, I haven't even figured it out, but they probably will be.
Beautiful. Let's go on to your next one. What do you got in that 49ers game?
We got the Niners coming off of a bye at home Sunday night versus the Colts, coming off of a win, flying another east to west. Again, the Niners are off of a bye, playing at home against the Colts. The Colts have to go there against a solid pass rush defense in a game where Carson Wentz always thinks he can get away from every sack. Like he never has a regular sack. He just thinks he thinks he's Carson Wentz from the Super Bowl year where he was just doing that thing. And he is the weirdest quarterback. He just thinks he can. I don't understand. I haven't seen him get out of a sack for years, but he thinks he can do it, and he's like spinning and trying to get
He's
out,
wild.
and then he just gets sacked. He's going to just get sacked a lot in this game. It's so confusing to me. I love the Niners. This is, I think, my favorite game of the weekend. I've got 7 unis on the Niners coming off the bye, east to west, but the fact that Wentz just doesn't know to just take a regular sack and not do stupid stuff, or he takes sacks when he shouldn't because he's trying to get out of it, thinking he can get out of it, but he's not that athletic. He does stupid things. He's not a good quarterback. I love San Fran in this game. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor's been awesome, but this is a different matchup.
Yeah, so what are we doing here? Banking on Garoppolo to return?
Garoppolo's returning. He returned. It looks like Lance is out anyways. So
Lance is injured, anyways. So that'd be the one, I guess, question mark is he's practicing. Is he going to be all the way back?
I think he's better than Lance, for the offense in general, and I do believe.
Yeah, right now I wouldn't disagree with that. I'm not that I'm against you on this one either. And the Colts won by 1 million last week, but they played the Texans.
Yeah.
So
this Colts aren't a very good football team. I just aren't.
No, this one, it's a little bit tricky. They played the Ravens real tough. I know you're not a Ravens guy, but
I hate the Ravens.
You should be a little bit more on them, though, because that was an impressive comeback. And then they came back and just murdered the Chargers.
I'm avoiding this. Yeah, I don't know. That one just felt like a matchup thing for me. Like the Chargers can't stop the run, and the Ravens run really well. And it just felt like a really bad matchup for the Chargers. They need to fix that. But that whole thing just didn't work out because they weren't throwing touchdowns. I think they had 1 passing touchdown. The rest were all running.
Yeah, I think Andrews caught 1, and then all the oldest running backs in the world all got 1.
All of them. Every one of them. Le'Veon Bell. What is he wearing? 17? What the fuck? I thought he was a wide receiver.
It's so
Jalen Waddle out there. Jesus Christ.
I hate that damn number change. I'm the old man telling kids to get off my lawn right now, but I hate the number change.
Okay, here. I like it because I like it, and I hate it at the same time because I like it because everybody looks good, but I hate it because everybody looks good. Like these guys trick me into thinking they're much better players by wearing 2 and 3 and 6. I'm like, that's a fucking baller right there. When you're wearing number 2, you just look like a really good athlete. I don't know what it is about the single number.
Miami in preseason had a cornerback that was wearing number 51, and I was so confused how he was hanging with all these wide receivers. Like, what kind of personnel do you have on defense? Get out of this.
Really good linebacker at corner.
It's just crazy. I was going to add one thing to that Ravens Chargers. Now I can't remember what it was. I know I totally went off.
Chargers matchup versus the run. Can't stop the run versus.
And well, the Chargers did that thing where they just keep going for it on fourth down, and it's been working all year. And this is the first game it didn't work.
Did it okay, I was texting my buddy, and I was so furious about this game.
I think they had to do it though.
I bet they went for it on their own 20 when the game wasn't over. They did not have to do that. They should have punted it. I was losing my mind. It was that stupid ass Lane Kiffin move that he kept doing against Alabama. And when you do that, you're giving a team a short. It's so stupid. Just punt the ball, try to get the ball back, and then score.
Well, and then what was it? Lamar Jackson. Oh, I think it was opposite actually on that one. Like Herbert threw an interception, and then Lamar threw an interception like back to back. But I think it was the opposite's how it worked out. But I don't know how we ended up getting on that game. I'm just a hard pass on the 49ers here. It's a tricky situation for me. I want to see how Garoppolo gets back. I don't want to put too much onto that one. Sorry. Let's go on to my last carded play of the week before we get to your final two. I'm taking the dog here. I'm taking Seahawks. They're getting 5 versus the Saints. I'm going 0.2 units on it. I'm kind of going back to like a preseason bias here where I'm not a big believer in the Saints. And the Seahawks, I know we're down Russell Wilson. I know that's a huge component of it. I know they didn't look great against the Steelers, but they battled back. That's a tough game. Going into Pittsburgh is not easy, but now you're getting a home game. I'm not confident in this one. Honestly, I kind of like an underplay here, regardless of what that number is. I just don't see the Saints beating too many teams by this amount, especially in Seattle. And I think this is the Monday night game.
Yeah.
I think this is the Monday night game. So you're going to give me prime time in Seattle, and you're going to give me 5 points, even if it's with the backup quarterback. Geno Smith, yeah, he's not great, but he's been around. He's been around, DJ. I know how you're looking at me right now. He's not some geek off the street. He's competent enough to get it together, especially against the Saints. Like the Saints defense isn't remarkable. It's not bad. It's not bad. Geno can hang with them. Geno hung with the Steelers and their defense, and their defense is a lot better.
Geno's pictures look like the Dave Chappelle crack addict character.
You're not wrong.
The worst thing about this game is that I have to bet it because it's on Monday night. Like that's I wish I didn't have. If it was at noon o'clock, I would not bet it on a Sunday. But since it's on Monday night, I have to bet it, and I hate that I have to do that. I wish you could flex it out on Monday night.
So what's wrong with? But what side are you going to take?
I don't know. I don't never know until I get to Monday on those games.
The one other thing too is I believe the Saints are coming off of a bye week, so they have a little bit extra time. Not that you need a ton of time to prep in this one, but you just have extra rest. You're not aiming to worry about it. Vice versa, or the other side of that is Seattle's coming off their primetime game Sunday night against Pittsburgh. So I'm kind of going against a little bit of like your traditional logic on this one. I'm not completely out on Seattle with Geno Smith as the quarterback. No, they're not going to blow anyone away. Every game is going to be tight, but that's what I'm banking on here. They can lose this game damn near by a touchdown. I'm still going to be fine. Taking the home team, I'm get those points. Seattle plus 5.2 units. My second most confident pick of the week.
They're all 0.2.
Yeah, but I have different.
No, you can't. You should have done 0.1
varieties of my 0.2s. I'm excited for your next one here, DJ. I should have saved this one for the last one because we don't like doing. We're gonna end up on the hangover. I don't want to end on the hangover. Let's switch it up here. Ooh. Let's go to your Jets and Patriots over under bet. What are you doing here?
I like to give an over and under every week, so I had to go find one. And I looked for a game that I'm like, how the fuck are either of these teams going to score? And I looked at this game, and I'm super uninterested. It's at noon or 3. I don't know. I hope it's at noon, but it's probably at 3. It's at noon. Thank God. So it's the noon game that's going to get buried behind all the other games on Red Zone. It has to be a noon game because there's always the one game that Red Zone does not show because nobody's scoring and they're just kicking field goals. This is that game we're never going to see on Red Zone, and I do not want to see it because I'm betting my little 1.1 uni on it, 42.5, the under. Nobody's going to score in this game. Nobody. I don't know how they score.
it was the same kind of deal with that New England and Dallas game last week, where it was like super low scoring, and then the end everything just fell apart. Like Dallas got that pick six, and then immediately hit Kendrick Bourne for a 77-yard touchdown. And next thing you know, you've got points galore. You're going into overtime. Dak throws a touchdown. Like, well, there's 21 more points.
Bet ever to hit. Like I was the emotional roller coaster with the pick six, and I'm like, I'm covering, and then they come back and they score literally the next play, and then in overtime when I think they're just gonna go for the field goal, and when I ran that play action, I saw CeeDee Lamb immediately stick his arm out, and I'm like, I'm freaking out, and then they throw it to him. Fantasy, and I have him in 3 out of 5 leagues, CeeDee Lamb. So I was just.
Do you have that moment though? Like, so he caught that and he wasn't going to get caught, but he kind of lollygags around the end zone and puts the ball out. Like, part of me just gets like so nervous. Like, what if that ball squirts out? Like, I'm just like, run into the damn end zone.
Did you see Aaron Jones' touchdown when he scored?
I must have missed that one.
He caught the pass. He faked a guy out. And he was running in the end zone. He did not know a guy was coming from behind him.
Oh,
so
God.
He was starting to cock off. And as he jumped, he was not in the end zone yet. As he was going to jump, he got hit, and he's got the ball like this, and I panicked because it was.
Here comes a touchback
coming out. Yep, he got it in there, but it was. I can't believe you didn't see that. He wanted to get the ball knocked out there. He did not have any idea a guy was right behind him.
Week 2, actually, this is the second time these two teams have played. Week 2, they played in New York, and the Patriots won 25-6. So you were at 40. You were at 31 there. So you were 11.5 points below this small over-under.
Perfect.
Pretty crazy. All right. I didn't want to end on the hangover. Even though that wasn't a bad one to talk about, I just feel like this one's probably going to be a little bit more animated just because it involves my team. DJ, here you go. Do your hand thing. You're taking the Falcons in Miami. Falcons are coming off of their bye week. Miami is coming off one of the worst losses of my lifetime in London. What do you got here?
I don't understand. I texted you, and I didn't understand how Miami, when I saw that, I was like, Miami doesn't have a bye week after London, also playing a team off of the bye.
Off of a bye week?
that doesn't make any sense at all. I don't care if it's Atlanta at all. I don't care about any of that. That does not make sense. How do I not bet Atlanta?
When I saw the schedule this year, I thought it was a misprint because I saw that game was in London. I'm like, well, I thought you just automatically got a bye week after London.
You're supposed to. Like, I don't understand how I don't bet Atlanta at this one, -2.5. Sit down.
We're having a conference call over here.
I'm talking right now. God, he knows. Where's his mom? I'm gonna smack her. She's pregnant. It's okay.
There's qualifiers here.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know how I don't bet it. It felt like Matt Ryan, and they figured out some things in the last game that they played. They come off the bye. They have some time to go. Miami's flying back from London. Atlanta's not far from Miami. I don't know how I don't bet Miami -2.5 here. Tua stinks. Miami stinks. They have no confidence. They're coming off the Jaguars loss. I have to bet Atlanta. It only makes sense. And I don't know I'm doing it because I hate Atlanta more than anything, but Miami just stinks. They're bad.
Miami's not good right now. I can give you that. However, and I'm not going to do this. What I would do, my advice to the bettors would be, let this thing get up to 3 and then take Miami. I'm not going to do it, but
you keep doing that and they keep not covering.
I know. And like I said, I'm personally not going to do it.
Did you bet Miami -3?
I did.
Last week? Okay.
I did.
Sure.
You can't.
That is certainly better than
you can't watch that Dolphins Jaguars game though, and tell me that Brian Flores wasn't the sole reason why that game was lost.
Do you ever wonder if they just don't trust Tua and they just aren't ever going to trust him?
Well, and it blows my mind because that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it does.
And they're 1-5.
And that's what everybody else seems to think too.
And they lost to Jacksonville doing that.
Yeah, they just don't trust him.
Why is the stubbornness? Why don't you just? I'm sorry, I'm yelling here, and I don't want to yell.
It's a noodle arm, probably.
Fuck you.
It might be the noodle arm.
It hasn't worked that way to play conservative and to settle for these field goals and to rely on your defense. That isn't happening this year. Why is it so much stubbornness? Why don't you just try it the other way? Miami was on the verge of going up 14-3 in that game and essentially could have put it away. Rather than just keep continuing to pile on points, they just get ultra conservative. You're right. Brian Flores seems to just hate Tua. I don't get it. It's almost like he doesn't want him to succeed. It is it's very frustrating as a fan. You can probably hear it in my voice. But from what I've been hearing, Flores' seat is getting really warm. So at some point in time, he's going to just have to try other shit. Like, they're not just going to hang on. Like, this is kind of how it goes. They're not going to make the playoffs at this point in time, but they're going to have.
How is that even a statement that you had to make?
Because if they would have beat Jacksonville and then they get Atlanta and all of a sudden now you're like 3-3 or whatever the record would be.
20% being what they were anyways. So
I'm just saying from now on,
we're never going to make it.
From the Jags game on, they statistically had the easiest schedule remaining in the NFL.
And they lost to the Jags. No, I mean, but they're not good. So it doesn't matter if your schedule's easy, but you're a shitty football team.
I get that.
You can't win.
I get that now. I get that. But also keep in mind, I know you're going to hate me for saying this. Outside of one play, Tua was really good in that game. Go ahead, get your laugh in.
He floats balls out there every now and then that I think are weird. I don't understand them. Yeah, he made some good throws, but every now and then he just floats the ball up there that it just – not the interception. He had one down the middle. Like, I don't even know what that throw was. It just floated out there in between like three guys with one. It's just he does some weird throws that are I don't understand them.
It was probably a throwaway because he was getting pressured, is what my assumption would be, because their offensive line is terrible.
I don't think he was getting pressured on that one, but like he could have like roll. I don't know. I don't understand it. And he doesn't impress. He just doesn't pop to me. Like, nothing pops off the screen when I watch Tua. Like, I see Trevor and he looks like I want Trevor Lawrence over Tua Tagovailoa. It's just facts. Nothing pops that tells me he's going to be a guy that's going to take your Miami Dolphins to a Super Bowl. He can be an average quarterback his entire career. He's not that. He's not going to be that guy. It's just, you need to see something that every now and then that's just like, all right, that's going to be a guy that has potential. Like, even it's like Wilson right now. I see plays. He might suck, but I see plays where it's like, holy shit, yeah, he could be really fucking good. He's got great arm talent.
See, I think you're missing some of those plays by Tua. And I hate saying this because I've had to say it since day one, but he's not getting any help with the play calls. Also,
I just think Deshaun Watson talks is really going to heat up over these next 2
It doesn't
weeks.
matter. They'll be just as bad with Deshaun Watson.
That's not true. Not true at all.
I let you talk.
Superior.
Now you got to give me a chance here.
No, I don't. This is what I do.
Because this is where I was going. He's not getting any help with the play calls. And I think another reason why they're continuing to just be this conservative, look who his weapons were again this week. Mac Hollins.
Fucking weapons.
Mac Hollins, Isaiah Ford, Kirk Merritt. Yeah, Jalen Waddle was fine, but Jesus Christ, the guy's averaging 7 yards a catch. He came into Alabama, 21 yards a catch. They're not utilizing him right. It's unbelievable how they just are just oblivious to the skill sets that their players have. Mike Gesicki, probably the best tight end in Dolphins history, had a great game, was outsnapped by Durham Smythe.
Smythe, what a name. I love that guy's name.
They are literally taking what they perceive as weaknesses and making them even weaker. It's hurting them. They need to just completely overhaul that, because if you look at
all of a sudden Brian Flores sucks, even though he was the savior last year.
It's crazy. He was like the coach of the year.
I said this before the fucking season started. It has nothing to do with anything besides your front office sucking dick. I think that's what it comes down to, because it's a continual circle. It starts top down. Your GM sucks. Your GM sucks. Your coach sucks. Your quarterback sucks. Everything sucks.
Does not suck, DJ.
Quarterback sucks.
If you've watched Tua play, you could make a list of the things that you would need to change. Tua would be about 10th. It's not even close. All 5 of the offensive linemen are up there. Finding healthy receivers is up there.
I would still trade your offensive lineman for ours.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would. If it's without Elton Jenkins, David Bakhtiari, and Josh Myers 100% of the time.
You're not watching what I'm watching, DJ.
But it's just a different coaching staff. It's a different scheme. It's a smarter quarterback. It's a more talented quarterback. That makes all the difference, because
it's the best quarterback to ever play the game. You can't fucking.
I understand that. But if you're gonna put Tua,
I'm not putting Tua on a pedestal. I'm
yes,
putting
you are.
Tua.
You say put your fucking shades on.
But you know I'm fucking around when I say that shit.
Yeah, and then you set yourself up for this.
Let me get back to my list of qualms. Every running back on that team is an undrafted free agent. Like they are ignoring certain positions. I like their
hate their
defensive
running
line.
backs so much.
Linebackers are terrible.
Wait,
They
what
have the
happened?
highest. They have the highest paid duo of cornerbacks. Guess who didn't even play last week?
Was it
Neither of them.
Oh, I thought Howard. Okay, yeah, okay.
It's unbelievable the amount of things that I thought were good with that team that need to be fixed. It's very. You can tell. I don't usually get this animated. It's very, very disheartening.
But I thought you didn't need to pay for your running backs, and running backs didn't matter. And I've told you continually they do matter because you the Dolphins continually have your stupid theory of getting shitty running backs because they don't matter. They suck at running the ball every single year. Like this is just what they do. They have not been good since fucking Roddy Brown or whatever. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but if you look at all right, but look at like a good team. We're looking at the Buccaneers. You're saying Leonard Fournette's not good. You could throw Myles Gaskin behind that line and he'll look good. You could put any of those guys in the Chiefs offense. You think Darrell Williams is that good? It's the situation. Like I said, I overhyped what I thought the Dolphins were going to be, and I thought their offensive lineman would take a step forward.
Every single year.
It's unbelievable. that offensive line in general wasn't able to take a step forward. They were only right here, and I'm setting my bar pretty low. Just to go the step up from there wasn't going to take much. They somehow found a way to take a step down the ladder.
It's crazy to me because I sit here and I watch. I don't even want to compare it to Aaron Rodgers. It's just the Packers. Like I watch what they do, and they bring in like Mercedes Lewis, who's a better than most teams' right tackles, and they add an extra guy and they chip with a running back and like they double a guy that they need to, and they get the ball out on time when they're supposed to, and it just seems. I'm sorry, but the Packers make it seem so simple to make their offensive line. Every now and then you'll see they'll have Akeem Hicks came free. They had a miscommunication. Yes, that's going to happen when they're a bunch of guys that are off the street.
For sure.
But you have to like a coach has to help the offensive line. And the Packers, to me, it doesn't even have to be Rodgers. They obviously he's a huge part of it because he reads the defense better than anybody in the league. But they know that they need to help in those areas, and he knows who to get it out to and how to read defenses.
It's general football intelligence that the Dolphins just lack compared to
and
like
they excel at it. They do.
it.
They are better than I think they're better. They're better than Mahomes at it. The Chiefs at it. Like Mahomes is stupid. I think about that offensive line, how he's been doing it. And I think that's why they're struggling right now. They need to change their entire scheme at this point because of that. But they are better than almost every team in the league at it. I don't understand how, but they do. But there's got to be some kind of little bit of intelligence where you can protect a little bit. I don't know.
It's crazy though, because you talk about the Packers and the Packers are that team that can get 7 yards any play.
Yeah, and the lack of running back on your team does also affect that because you don't set up any of that opportunity. They're just don't care about your run game.
I have friends that are Dolphins fans. We text about this every Sunday. It's like how is it so hard? Every play is such a challenge. Every single play, every yard is so earned. They have to earn every yard. But then you watch Tampa Bay and Tom Brady just sits in the pocket and just gets 20 a pop. Like it's unbelievable. There was a play in that game against Jacksonville. Miami did a play action max protect where Tua was going to be able to take a shot. He had to check down before he could even set. It's so pathetic.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they just need to watch that offense, the Packers offense, for a little bit. Just hey, what are they doing that we're not doing when they have a literal duct tape offensive line?
I think they're stubborn. I think they're so set in their ways they don't do that. Because I think the same thing. I'll watch the Dolphins game and I'm like, oh my God, it's such a damn it's pulling teeth. And then I watched the Packers play on primetime. I forgot who that was. And every single play just looks surgical.
Yeah.
Are the Dolphins the offensive coordinators watch this, rewind it and be like, okay, what'd they do? We're going to copy that.
It looks like they're playing 2 different games. It really does. How is that an NFL offense and how is that an NFL offense?
Long story short, wait for that line to get to 3 and take the Dolphins.
This is a really long podcast.
DJ, do you have a money line parlay of the week?
Oh shit, I got to do it right now really fucking fast because otherwise I made promises that I can't keep. All right, let's do this. We are going to throw in. Oh, God, the Panthers are really frustrating. Packers, obviously.
Yes.
Great. My son was excited about it. I got to make this expensive. Let's go with the Falcons over the Dolphins. My son is just really liking these. Cardinals over the Texans. Let's get a guaranteed win over
Yeah,
there.
that's a guaranteeder.
What was the other one that I was telling you I was going to do?
The Raiders.
The Raiders over the Eagles.
That's
And I
4.
need one more. So
This is the money maker right here.
And I like to cap it off the San Francisco 49ers to take down the Chargers. Don't play the Colts for a 5-team money line parlay of
Heyo!
It's hurt someone's ears.
that's it 464.
I didn't think
Well,
this was
take
going to be a
Hey,
huge one.
y'all!
Stop it.
I didn't think that was going to be a huge one. Where did it go?
Packers, Falcons, Raiders, Cardinals, Niners.
All right.
It's in like Flynn.
Plus 464 on that one. I don't mind that one. If you just change the Dolphins to the Falcons, it'd be a better payout, though.
I mean, it's been working out pretty well.
DJ, I know you've got priors, both with law and
Almost.
commitments. Do you have anything else you'd like to add to this?
I'm gonna do Friday Night Lights this weekend. I didn't do it last week, but I put out all my picks.
There was a tweet. I saw a tweet.
So, but I will do it this week. I might record it ahead of time because I gotta get drunk that night. No, I'll have time to do it because I don't work on Friday. So I'll do a Friday Night Lines at like 5:00 ish.
Can't wait. As always, check us out on Twitter at LoadedBox. Check out our website, loadedboxpodcast.com. All of our articles, our podcast, everything you need is over there. Next episode, we'll be doing the same thing for week 8. We're available everywhere. Subscribe, rate, review. DJ, send us into week 7.
Bye.